Remember, it's the economy, stupid. That was what got Bill Clinton elected. And James Carville, I think, came up with that line. It was very simple. Everybody understood it. And, we know that in this last election, people say they were voting on the economy. So they said, MAGA and Fox News said that the economy under Biden was terrible because we couldn't afford eggs. The price of eggs seemed to be how they were judging the economy. And the truth is, it was the Biden economy was one of the best economies we've had in my lifetime in decades. It was superb on every level. And the rest of the world was actually benefiting from the strong Biden economy. So Trump couldn't change that fact. So he simply talked it down. He lied about it. Sean Hannity lied about it. Tucker Carlson lied about it. All the right wing idiots, traitors, MAGA, cultists in the media lied about it. So voters, MAGA voters, actually believed that the economy was bad. Inflation was high, but it was coming down. Okay. Biden took a horrible Trump economy that Trump made worse with the pandemic. Remember, it was Trump's pandemic. He lied about it. There were millions of, hundreds of thousands, maybe a million of preventable COVID deaths that he's responsible for. The Bob Woodward book that we found out about late, Trump knew. And then we recently find out that Trump was sending our COVID testing kits to Putin for his people. So he betrayed us and people died as a result. But that COVID pandemic economy is what Biden inherited and fixed, and then some. Inflation was a problem, it was slower. So MAGA lied about the economy and people voted on it. Many people voted on that. Well, what do we have now? An economy that's tanking. The stock market today has taken a nosedive. It has absolutely crashed. I'm going to read a tweet by Heather Long. She's talking about a chart that shows what people say about the economy, what their fears are. And this is important because in the midterms, if all these people who thought that the Biden economy was so horrible realize that no, the Trump economy is horrible, people are scared, this will make a difference. And this is why Trump, I think, is so scared about losing even Elise Stefanik's seat, a safe Republican seat in upstate New York. And that's why he pulled her UN ambassadorship nomination. Wow. Okay. So Heather Long, she says, this is one of the scariest charts I've seen in a while when Americans are asked, do you think your financial situation will be better off in a year? They increasingly say no. The vibe session, as she calls it, under Biden, gave people the economy poor grades, but they were generally optimistic about their personal finances, especially the rich. So like they're kind of listening to the MAGA media, but then they also know, well, everything's okay for me. So, they had the impression things were not okay for them because of the price of eggs. That would be the low info voters, the red hat wearing toothless idiots that go to the rallies and buy the gold sneakers and give Trump, their lunch money. Under Trump 2025, people at all income levels are worried they will be worse off in a year. This is the type of situation that causes people to really pull back on spending. And this is what is different than 2023 and 2024. So when you have this impression, this will affect consumer confidence. Okay. We see Elon Musk has driven Tesla into the ground. We see Elon Musk has driven Twitter into the ground. And now he's out there clamping down on people and wants to have, they're now going to be domestic terrorists if they spray paint, I guess, a Tesla Cybertruck. And they're trying to make it some kind of a crime to even say bad things about Tesla company. I would say, aside from the fact that this guy is stark raving mad, he's a dishonest liar. He clearly has not been an American long enough to understand that that's not how we do things here. Well, we do now, I guess, but that's not America. And so he clearly is afraid. And he's tanking our economy. They're talking about, gutting Social Security. Well, that's going to affect the travel industry because seniors, if you're at a level in your life where your Social Security is what you need to live on, you're in real trouble. If Social Security is part of what your annual finances and it enables you to travel, let's face it, senior citizens are the ones that spend a lot of money on travel and tourism. That goes away. Florida and Arizona will be the ones that suffer the immediate hits on that. And I think that's perfectly fine. You deal with that, Ron DeSantis. People are not snowbirding in Florida. Canadians are not coming doing spring break or snowbirding in Florida. Snowbirds are what we call old people that go spend winters in Florida. They may live in their regular home. My parents did it for years while they still could. They'd lock up the home in the wintertime and they drive to Florida and spend 3 months there in a little place where it was warm and they loved it. And that's what a lot of people do who aren't rich but have planned well, maybe have done well enough. And that describes a lot of Americans. So that will have a bigger hit with our economy than I think people realize. So it's that what the perception is, we saw what that did to Biden because Trump worked so hard to lie about the Biden economy so that the perception was that it was bad. And so people voted on that thinking the economy was doing poorly when in fact it wasn't. So now, despite the fact that Trump lies about this stuff and Elon Musk promising all these great things are going to happen with Doge and all these cuts and the tariffs are the biggie. As people come to understand increasingly what these tariffs mean, they understand that what it means to their own pocketbook. So there's all these different factors that weigh in that affect people's perception, as well as the actual truth about the economy, which is it is getting very bad very quickly. So this is what's going to have an impact in the midterm elections. I hope in these special elections coming up, if it catches on quickly enough. I think Trump is very concerned about these 2 Florida seats that are supposed to be safe Republican seats, but the polling doesn't look good for them. Democrats have a chance, and they're pouring the money in, and that's why he pulled the nomination for Elise Stefanik. They're scared. The House Republican majority, the MAGA majority, is so slim they can't afford to lose anybody. But importantly, this economic perception and reality. And if the perception catches up with the reality, which is that Trump and Elon Musk are tanking the economy, that affects elections a lot. And that means, too, that Republicans in the House and Senate, but especially the House, will start being very, very responsive to that. They have to be more afraid of the voters back home than they are of Donald Trump. We're not there yet. Maybe they're waiting for Elon Musk to assure them that, hey, I got this. I'm going to cheat for you like I did for Trump in 2024. I got some Starlink tricks up my sleeve, and I can pour lots of money into it. So until every House Republican feeling that squeeze gets that clear message from Elon Musk and Trump and maybe Putin cheating for them, they do have to worry about their reelection. And the House is up for election every 2 years. The Senate elections are staggered. So, a third of them are up every 2 years for their term. So it's not everybody all at once. Our founders meant for the House to be, unruly and closer to the people and kind of raucous and fight things out. And they kind of wanted the Senate to be the more deliberative body and be kind of aloof and above it all. And the Senate does not disappoint in that regard. But the House, I think, is where we need to really watch what they start doing. If Republican members start getting very vocal and very concerned about the economy because of Trump and Elon Musk, I think that's good news. And then we'll have to have a strategy to exploit that. One way we do that is going to every town hall, demanding town halls, go to the protest in your hometown. I'm going to mine because it's working. I think sometimes we think that stuff doesn't work. It's starting to work, and I'm pretty encouraged about that. So it's hard work. It's hard work, but we don't have a choice. And I'm guessing that if you're watching this video, you're somebody who's pretty politically active and pretty well informed, and probably a little bit of a leader in your circle and in your town for this stuff. So I'll be taking videos with my friends when we go to ours. But meanwhile, let's be very vocal about how Trump and Elon Musk are tanking the economy, because that is the one thing that will flip, not all MAGA, but a lot of them. And that's what we have to look for in the midterms.